Hey everybody, welcome back. Today we are going to be talking about one of the first and most important things you can do when you arrive at your destination when you're RVing, and that is level your RV. It doesn't matter if you've got a towable or a motorhome, they're all equally important to make sure you are level for various reasons. We're going to talk about the tools you need and give you a couple tips, things that we have learned over the years, so whether you are an RV newbie or an experienced veteran who is set in your ways and you know who you are, we're hoping to make this as informative and short as possible, so stick around. All of the products that we are going to talk about today, I am not sponsored by, I am not affiliated with them. I have purchased all of these with my own money, but there are links below to Amazon where you can pick up these products yourself. And when you purchase it through there, we are affiliates with Amazon, so it does help us out and it helps support this channel, and it doesn't cost you anything extra to do that.
Well, I'm sure glad we got that straightened out.
So before you even chock your wheels, you're going to want to know if you're level side to side. You always level side to side first and then front to back. And again, this is true of any RV type, but especially a towable, trailer, or a fifth wheel. So the only thing you really need to level are some blocks of wood and a level. A small one like this will do just fine, but if you have a larger level, this is going to give you an even more accurate reading. So now that you know if you're level side to side, you know what you need to do. If you need to raise one up, you can use something as simple as wood. Like I said, wood is always a good go-to. The problem is it does get dirty, it'll attract bugs. So what we prefer to use are the stacking blocks. These are one of the most popular RVing tools out there. They're basically like Legos for grown-ups. You can stack them, make them any height you want, any size. It just depends on how many you have. There are two different styles we've used, the smaller ones, and we've recently been using the larger blocks that can hold more weight and sustain a little bit more. So if you have a larger RV, you might want to consider getting the larger ones. So then you can just roll back onto those, lift it up, chock the wheels, and you're done. But what we have learned is that can take a lot of hit and miss, and you've got to go in 1-inch increments in most cases. So to get a little bit more accurate, what we've done, we've upgraded to the Anderson leveling blocks. How these work, you simply roll onto them and it lifts up. So you've got anywhere from 1/4 of an inch lift all the way up to about 4 or 5 inches. You don't want to go back any further than that because you could drive off the end of these and now you're talking severe problems, so don't do that. But you roll back on them, and then once you're set, they come with the chock. You sit under there and your wheel just sits inside of there. So it's double duty because you can also chock your wheels using these because they're not going to roll back and forth when they're sitting in that nice cradle. If, however, you go up too far, you're still going to want to chock your wheels elsewhere. Don't trust just these because these would be pretty easy to slip off of. So those are my warnings to you. Just be careful when you're using these, but man, these have made it so easy because you can just roll back onto it, get extremely accurate with your leveling. So those work great, but what we did is we took it even another level. Now this is where it gets really convenient. We have started using the RV Leveler Pro. The RV Leveler Pro will actually attach to your RV, so you do have to set this up initially once you're already level. So you have to do it the old-fashioned way. Make sure you're perfectly level. Put in the size of your RV, the wheel distance, so it's a very, very accurate reading. This syncs to your phone with Bluetooth. So with our setup, because we're long, we've decided to put it right inside this front bay. 2 reasons. Like I said, length, but then the other is, this is where I keep all my leveling gear anyway. I just open this up, turn it on, syncs to my phone, and now I've got real-time readings. I jump back in the truck and can go forward and back until I find as level of a spot as I can, and then if you pair that with the Anderson blocks, you can be in your truck, put these in front or behind your wheels, whichever is the most convenient, roll forward or back, and you will see in real time it adjusts and you get level. Then you run back out, chock it, and you're done. It really makes it a one-person job. It's super simple. I highly recommend the RV Leveler Pro combined with Anderson blocks, and you shouldn't have any issues with getting that RV level. I do have to mention, RV Leveler Pro is not sponsoring this video, but they did send me one of these for free to try out. So thank you to RV Leveler Pro, but I told them I cannot be affiliated with them because I want to be able to give an honest review and honest feedback to what I truly think about this. But now that I've used it, it has a great signal. I've never lost connection with it, and it's just worked flawlessly. It's been great. It's one of the best additions, especially if you like boondocking. You know you're going to be boondocking in some very unlevel areas. You can work your way through, find the most level spot. This has been a game changer for us. This is a pretty level site, actually. You can barely tell in there. In addition to that, when they sent this to me, they gave us a coupon code for all of our viewers. This code is only going to be good for a limited time, so you want to hurry up and act fast. Click the link below. It'll take you to the product webpage. Put in the code that we're going to have down in the description of the video below. They are going to give you 20% off your purchase. That makes this one of the most affordable electronic leveling systems, and you're getting all the same features as the big brands that cost twice as much. So I would definitely recommend RV Leveler Pro. Click the link below, buy it, you won't regret it. But I will give you one more tip. Watch for any obstacles when you are getting set and leveling, because when you are using any kind of blocks, even the Anderson blocks, if you figure out, okay, we are perfectly set right here, we've got clearance for the slides, and then you back up onto these, you just moved back almost a full foot. Maybe further if you've really got to raise it up and you're using something other than the Andersons. So watch for that. We've done that one time. We were so focused on the driver's side slides and how much room we had, we forgot about the passenger slide. We looked at it one time, thought, oh yeah, we've got plenty of clearance with this tree. As soon as we backed up onto these, now our slide was going to hit the tree. So we had to hitch back up, pull back forward, and redo that whole process. So take some time, look around you before you disconnect, before you finalize anything, and give yourself that extra space to go back onto these or to pull forward onto them. Either way, make sure you've got that play or that give with all of your external slides and all the other things you got to watch out for. Even the awning. If you want to put that thing out, make sure there's no trees you're going to hit. You always want to make sure you chalk your wheels. So to chalk your wheels, you can do that in many ways. There's good old tried and true wooden blocks. Something we've used for a while, especially with our lighter trailer, with these plastic chalks that you can pick up just about anywhere, any RV store. The only problem with these, you want to make sure that you know the expiration date. And you heard me right, an expiration date. These are plastic. They will get brittle over time. And if you look, most of them have it printed right on the side. Let's see if we can show you that here. It says in this one, replace after September of 2021. So don't worry, I haven't used these for a while. We replaced them quite a while ago. And what we've chosen to do is get something a little bit stronger, because the plastic ones are nice, but they will break. You could accidentally run over those, especially if you have a larger motorhome that's a lot heavier weight. So we have upgraded to these rubber chocks. Now these are solid, these are heavy, they're not going anywhere. And what we do is we have two of them. We'll put them in between the wheels right now with our fifth wheel. That way you are chalked for your forward and backwards motion in one easy, convenient place. All right, so now you're level side to side. The next step is leveling front to back. I have learned that you want to know how far off level you are before you even disconnect. With the travel trailer, you're just going to have the one post that comes down into the ground. You have to make sure, if you have to raise it up, that you stack up some blocks under that as well, so you have enough give. Again, chalk your wheels first. Or if you are nose down, you're going to have to put that really low. So you might want just one of those blocks just so your support doesn't sink down into the ground. You want to have that give so you can move up or down. Same is true of the fifth wheel, but now you have two landing jacks. If you know your nose is going to be really low, you don't want to extend those too far, because then your auto leveling is going to either error out or try to lift your back so far that it's going to become unsafe. So this is why, even if you have an automatic leveling system, it doesn't matter if it's a 4-point or 6-point, being level initially is extremely important. You don't want your jacks extending so high that it's lifting your rig off the ground. If you lift the rig off the ground, what are your chocks doing? You need to be able to have those chocks locking those wheels into place. That is still your biggest contact point when you're leveling an RV. So do not lift your rig off the ground, and you'll know this ahead of time if you use the RV Leveler Pro. You'll know how to extend those jacks before you even disconnect from the vehicle. Once you disconnect, if you were wrong, you got to raise them back up, reconnect, go through that whole process, and that's not fun. I have done it. So save yourself some aggravation and know ahead of time how much you need to move, how much you're going to have to adjust. Put a little bit of time and effort into it on the front end. It's going to save you a lot of effort in the end. So on the note of leveling blocks, they are firm, hard plastic. So if you are in uneven ground or you are not on a concrete site like where we're currently sitting right now is on concrete, it can be a little tricky. You're putting it down on rocks, you're putting it down on roots in some cases. And that happened to us. That's what triggered me to get these. These are leveling blocks, but they are rubber. They are going to give, especially under the weight of a heavy RV. So if you have some kind of a root or something that makes it not quite level and you think you're going to crack the plastic of the blocks, put this underneath them, then stack your blocks above it, and it will give and not break those blocks. Much easier to work with. Put this on any surfaces. So again, these are not necessary, but if you have the extra money to put into it, these are very well worth it. Again, we'll try to put a link down below to these. You can also get even smaller jack pads. We used them on our old trailer. We cannot use them on the fifth wheel. They're too little. They don't get the job done. So make sure you are buying the right size of leveling blocks for your particular RV. We're going to have links to a couple different kinds. I always say you can't go too big, but they do take up a little bit more room in the storage side of things. So find what's good for your RV and be safe. We just use these now for leveling the table that we put the grill on. So some people, I've even seen them use them to level out their sewer hose. I wouldn't recommend using them for your sewer hose and then going back to using them under your cooking table. That just weirds me out. But that just shows you the many uses that these blocks can actually have. So that's it. It's a pretty easy process. I would recommend having a step-by-step guide or steps that you can follow that you're going to remember. Check for obstacles, look around, see what you're going to hit, and then see with the RV Leveler Pro, where can we position ourselves. And then once you are semi-level already, or at least know what you have to accomplish, side to side first, and then once that is all set, using the Andersons or the RV Leveler Pro, whatever you're going to use, then figure out the front to back, how far to put down your stands or your jacks, and then you can level front to back. And then you're done. Set up camp and enjoy time. And when you get good at this, it's going to be a fast process. It's going to be easy. We all have our jobs in this family. The kids run around and place the chocks. They put down the pads to make sure when these auto levelers come down that they're going to be centered. It's a very fast process, especially for us where we have multiple hands. I have done this myself many times. It takes a little bit longer. Just position everything, get yourself set, be patient, take your time. This is very important. It's not just important for comfort. In order for the slides to operate properly without damaging anything, you are supposed to be level. If you have propane on your rig, which most still do, a lot are going to electric coaches, but the propane is supposed to be as level as possible so it can flow and all the different appliances can work properly as well. Very important to level your RV. So that's it. Those are my quick tips and tools. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe. We're going to be putting out more content this year. We kind of took a little bit of a break, had a lot going on, but we are going to be back sharing a lot of travel with you. So subscribe so you don't miss any of that. If you want to support us, like I said, it's as simple as clicking the links below. Shopping through those links on Amazon really helps us out. But you can also click the super thanks button down below. Give us a couple bucks, that'll lock your comment. We'll make sure to respond to as many comments as we can. So if you have any questions, feel free to ask. If you have your own tips, your own tricks that you use for leveling your RV, put it down below. Share it with the community. But we do try to be helpful. There's helpful and informative, and then there's just critical for no reason. So helpful and informative, we do appreciate that. Keep it a positive place for this community. Let's all as RVers help each other, learn together. So thank you for watching, and we will see you next time.